Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Season 9, Episode 22. So yeah, we're here with another episode of our final season, getting close to the end. Last time off, we had a really bad one with the entire Daring Doubt episode. And since watching that, I actually realized it's even worse than I initially thought because the continuity errors are massive. Especially in regards to Aggretsuko and Caballeron. Yeah, that episode just was not good. It was not good. But we're moving on. I know nothing, once again, going into this episode. I don't know who it's about. I don't know who we're going to follow. I don't know pretty much anything. I don't know title, writer, any of that jazz. And we're getting, like I said, we're getting close to the end. The end of this series as a whole. And yeah, we're going to have Gen 5 eventually, and you know I'm going to react to that. At least at first. Hopefully it ends up being good. But still, G4 still means a lot to me. So, it's going to be sad to see it go. But it's done so much to help. It's not only me, but so many others. So I'm very glad to have found it and discovered this fandom, and I'll always be a brony, or Pegasister if you want to use that term. I'll always be part of this fandom. But yeah, so I know nothing about this going in, so we're just not going to waste any more time and just get into this. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black, then it fades back in. Everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so this episode, for me, was just kind of meh. It wasn't bad like some of the episodes in the second half of the season have been, but it wasn't what I would call really that good either. I think the biggest issue here lies with what the episode is really about. This episode does not work at this point in the series, and that's my big issue. The CMC are old and mature enough at this point to definitely be able to handle that kind of trip. But instead, this episode dumbed them down. Like, seriously, the CMC are not as dumb as they were portrayed in this episode. At least they haven't been portrayed that way in quite a long time. They're not that dumb. And seriously, why are they suddenly being treated like little kids again? At this point, the CMC are not just little kids anymore. The fact that they have their cutie marks, they've found their calling, they're good at it, they know what they're doing, they can travel. They've traveled before without adult supervision and had no problem using the train. Like when they went to Canterlot, because Sweetie Belle had messed with the order for Sapphire Shores, and they were going back to try and fix it and all. Remember that episode? They went onto the train, got to Canterlot, no issue. Yes, suddenly in this episode, they're not smart enough to understand that a train doesn't just take you to where you're going, that trains actually don't just lead to different places. Like, what the fuck is that? On top of that, it's like they showed in that episode that they're not only able to go somewhere on their own, but they're mature enough to handle that. And that was like many, many seasons ago at this point, I think. Like, the episode is called For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toys. I think that was season 4. Which, if that's the case, That's even worse. If it was that long ago. That, yep, season 4, episode 19. So in season 4, 5 whole seasons ago, they're mature and old enough to be able to handle going off on their own to Canterlot. And this is before they had their cutie marks, by the way. They're able to go to Canterlot by train, understand how a train works to be able to go there, and are mature enough to do things on their own. Even though in that episode, yeah, there were some issues with them getting the outfit for Sapphire Shores and all back. But still, the point is, this episode would work before season 5, before they got their cutie marks. But it would definitely only work before that episode, before Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils. Because having this episode take place after that makes absolutely no logical continuity sense. And on top of that, that episode was honestly just much better. But like I said, even with the massive continuity errors here, and just making it seem like, again, they're being treated like these little kids still, which just makes no sense, and really does not work for the final season. It just feels out of place. It just really feels out of place. And as such, the moral of, like, oh, you should not, like, rush through life, that you should enjoy it as it goes and not try to grow up too fast and all, it doesn't work here because of that. It doesn't work because the entire plot makes no sense in terms of continuity. It's a continuity breaking episode. Just not as bad as last week's, but still. I just feel that they could have done a lot better here for what is most likely this time, this last CMC episode. Unlike the last one, this one didn't really have anything major to do with the CMC's character arc, to any degree. But still, like, hell, if they had, like, even switched these 2 episodes, it would have been better. Like, had this episode earlier in the season, have the other CMC episode at this point. But still, I think that this episode does not work in this current season, in the final season of the show. With everything we've seen of the CMC in the past, this is not an issue that can work at this point for them. I liked seeing the grown-up models for them, especially Sweetie Belle's. Because Sweetie Belle's grown-up model, not only is the hair slightly different, but the outlining on the eyes is different as well, which gives her a unique eye shape, which is always appreciated for these character models, or at least a unique eye design. And I think it's really pretty. I think it's cute. It's a cute design. Scootaloo's big difference is her hair, obviously. And Apple Bloom really didn't look any different. I liked the song. The song was fun. The new characters were just kind of meh for me. Like, they didn't really do anything for me. And the creature itself, I forgot what it was called, but it was cute. But it's not something that I'm, like, really going to be excited about having discovered, I guess is a way to put it. It's not one of those creatures in this show that I really love. I just think it's kind of cute. But yeah, overall, this episode is mostly just meh for me. Even with its issues, it's not anything that's bad enough to really make me hate it like last week's. Last week's continuity errors were much worse, I feel. This week's are just more annoying than anything. it's not as big a deal, I feel, because it doesn't change the status quo all that much. But oh well. In the end, it wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't a good one either. So I mean, at least it wasn't bad, I guess I could say. But tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of MLP Season 9, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.